Yo, what's up? So, I'm just gonna keep doing videos as long as I keep inspired to do them. I'm here hanging out at George's and Claire's place. They are the parents of Luna. Luna's over there, relaxed. I got some time to kill, so I'm just gonna chill here and just talk about a few things that's on the heart, on the mind, on the body. Man, I'm feeling really good. Feeling really good. My skin is feeling really soft, right? My wrist is getting better. Ain't nothing like an injury, going away after it's been plaguing you for so long, inhibiting you from reaching full potential in that particular area, you know. A lot of things popping with the lab, cool things happening, headquarters coming out. We got fucking, trips to Miami, doing workshops in Miami, manifesting that. Um, and it all comes down to feeling good in your body, right? When you feel good in your body, right? When it's painless, right? And that's like the beauty of fucking painkillers, right? But there's also a double-edged sword to it. But, you know, when you have a painless body and you don't have to worry about how you step and it pinches or burns when you walk a certain way, then you can really think clearly, right? It's like your Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you fucking struggling to eat and pay rent and pay bills and debt and shit, you ain't got no time to go within and fucking, explore your truest potential, right? This body is just a body and it's not who you completely are. And I 100% buy that. We are in a simulation. It's the video game of life. If Alan Watts talks about that, it's the Matrix. And you got to know how to play it, right? And I chose to dance in and out through the system, not completely relying on the system, but also using the system to help me achieve my goals as well. Like working together. Like I used to think, fuck the banks, fuck the government, fuck all that stuff. But you know what? I'm going to befriend them because I think they can help me out more than I can get them to fucking change laws and shit, right? And so the economy, it's the economy, no, recession, no, it's that's bullshit. That's just a way of thinking, right? And they implant it in you by bombarding you with CNN and Fox and whatever news media outlets that tell you, and they keep putting that word recession into you. And the more you hear it, right, to say like the more you say a lie, the more it becomes the truth. And recession is a form of thinking, right? You just have to adapt. Recession, informs adaptability, ingenuity. You got to push on, right? Just like COVID, some people didn't make it through COVID, right? It's kind of like the pruning, like, it's like humanity pruning, right? It's evolution. Like those that don't make it, don't make it. But those that do, we must continue on and honor their memory and live the best life. And that's how you do it, right? You don't have to be sad and mourn and fucking depressed. The best way you get back and, make it up to people is by living your absolute best life in whatever capacity that is to you, And for me right now, monk mode is where it's at, man. I don't give a fuck about pussy. I don't give a fuck about romance, right? Because I could do all that shit on my own. I'm mad romantic to myself, you know what I mean? I love pleasing myself, satisfying myself through imagination, through memory, my fantasy, my mental state, right? I can control my chi and my sexual energy, and that helps me with my creativity, so. Man, and also, like lately when I've been dropping out these videos, I'm not thinking about what to say, but it just keeps flowing out. And the use of and has been decreasing greatly, right? And it's because I'm in a painless body. Painless body. My traumatic childhood experiences has started to be resolved. Some debts are being paid, right? And mind you, you don't have to pay all your debts, just that federal shit, so don't. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid about fucking debt, man. You know what I mean? You don't really have to fucking pay that shit. Just keep it open dialogue. Be like, look, guys, this is what happened to me. This is where I'm at. And they'll work with you, right? That's what I thought about the IRS, right? Because I fell behind. But as long as you keep a connection with them and open the lines of communication, they'll work with you, right? Like the economy. I'm working with the economy. I'm not working against the economy. I don't believe there's a recession. Therefore, that opens up a different playbook for me, as opposed to someone who believes there's a recession and has to panic and get into frantic and try to get shit done, right? Look, you're better off following your dreams and doing the things you fucking love to do, right? Because all that violence, all the war, all the nuclear, all the brink of fucking apocalypse has always been here, and it's always going to been there way back to the ancient Greeks, right? Egyptians, right? That's all the distraction. That's all the way to keep you enslaved. That's all the ways that's going to keep you from reaching your highest levels of consciousness, right? Because you're going to be okay, right? If you stay within your proximity of power, you're going to be okay. And when you do the things you love, that's what the universe is asking of you, and it will reward you for that, right? Don't get caught up in the elections and the fucking news, because don't get me started on the elections, right? It's so triggering to me. Every time my elections come around, it just reminds me of my parents divorcing and fighting, right? And these are supposed to be our leaders of the world, right? Or our state, and they're bickering, right? Look at the ads. They're always just roasting each other, saying mean things about them. And this is what we want to lead us, right? Because it's sensationalizing and it's polarizing, and it gets you distracted from what's really happening, right? And like, if you think about it, the presidents and all that shit, those are supposed to be our parents, our family for the country, right? And for me, man, my parents were always fighting, and I hated that shit, right? And so I don't participate in elections. I don't participate in any of that, right? I keep my head low, pay my taxes as much as I can, and I work with the economy, right? None of that stuff matters to me. And I live a better and a peaceful life because of it. And that's just for me, right? If you're living in that world and you're totally immersed into the elections, is it bringing you peace? Is it bringing you joy? I know you've been doing it for so long and it's been ingrained in you and a big part of you, but do you think your one vote's really going to do something? Has there ever been an election where one vote decided everything? No. So all the time you have spending in line and waiting and shit, you could really be distributing that energy into something productive. Like, for example, the other day I was hanging with a guy, and we're at the dog park, and a dog started taking a shit, right? And so this guy immediately rages up, "Hey, whose dog is this? Where's the dog owner?" Right? And so he went around the whole park looking for the dog owner in anger. And while he was doing that, I went over there and I scooped it up and I bagged it. Right? He spent about at least 15 minutes of his energy being angry, looking for the owner. So it's like prioritizing your energy. This is the right time to do it, man. If you're into the moon stuff, astrology stuff, follow it. I think it's talking about going for yours, getting yours, because God damn it, motherfuckers, Cambodia Sativa's getting his. Check me out on open mics. It's coming soon. Original 13, or it leaves tonight, Tuesday. Do a little open mic, a little spoken word, maybe a little bit of music. Because that's what I love to do, and I'm going to do, and I will do, and get compensated greatly for it. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Cambodia Sativa, we give you fever. Rock on. Peace.